Welcome to the Fantastic Score. Everybody has a story to share.
All right, Angad, thanks for joining me today. So let's get right into it. So tell me your story. How did you find out about Question Pro? And more importantly, why did you join Question Pro?
Yes. How did I found about Question Pro? Basically, Nikhil introduced me to Question Pro right before I came in for the interview. Means I was in a big firm, service-based firm. So just when I reached the company, and I saw so many things that is an analytical company, and so many things are in, so many things are done inside the company. That's how I got introduced to the company. And why I joined Question Pro? There are two reasons behind it. First one, that is, I wanted to learn more about full stack technologies. So I knew about JavaScript and everything, but in my previous company, I was not able to uh, learn that much or utilize my talent on that field. So after joining Question Pro, I was awarded with full stack technologies like JavaScript and Java and even DevOps as of now. And the second reason was that I wanted to know how a company works. So as I was in a big company, the I was a small part in the big ecosystem. I was not aware what the sales team is doing. I was not aware how much we are earning, the company, how much the entire company is earning, or how much my project is earning. So when I joined Question Pro, obviously we are quite transparent in everything. We share numbers and everything to everyone. And yes, we can
Yeah.
meet the sales
So
guys and the
tell me a
business
little
guys
bit.
as well.
I get it. So awesome. Thanks for that. So one thing. So you talked about like learning beyond the scope of just engineering and development, realistically. So you have
Yes.
a history. So when I talked to you last week, you said you started your own kind of firm. You started your own like little dev shop when you were in college, right? Was it when you were in college or
Yes.
right after
Yes,
you were in
exactly.
college?
When I was in college, so me and my
Okay.
friend started a small venture. We started a small
Tell me more
company.
about. I love hearing these stories. Tell me
Yes.
more about that. Yeah.
So it was a time of a college vacation. So it was like 2 months. I stayed there where my college was.
Where was this? In Pune or
Uh,
somewhere else?
no, it was in Gujarat,
In Gujarat. Okay.
West India. So
Got it.
I stayed there with my five friends. I am pretty grateful to those guys. They stayed with me, and we were creating stuff, and we were trying to reach out clients, and we were going everywhere in India. So that was the thing we're trying to do. We were reaching to clients, and we were trying to do projects for them. But
So you were
ultimately,
selling. So to summarize this, you were selling a dev shop. Basically, you were saying that I will build a
yes,
website for you. I will build a WordPress
ye-
site for you. I will build whatever the fuck you
yes,
want, realistically,
yes,
really,
we
right?
will build anything you desire.
Okay.
Tell us what to do, we'll make it. That
Got
was
it.
what we were trying to sell. So we were trying to make a service based company, but ultimately it was too tough to get money out of those guys. We got one or two clients, but sadly the projects were too big and the money was too less.
Right.
So eventually, we after 2 months we scrapped the idea.
Okay, you actually didn't lose a lot of money. So selling to Indians is a hard problem. Let me tell you that. I can tell you this. I've lost almost $500,000 trying to do that.
Oh
Okay,
my
so
god.
you only lost 2 months of your life. That's all right. But we tried the same. We tried. So don't try to sell dev stuff to Indians. It's really really difficult. Okay, I tell this to everybody. Like selling software to Indians is kind of like one of the probably the world's toughest challenges. I can speak to that,
Yes.
frankly. Um, all right, so you've been kind of I think from what I hear from everybody else, you've been crushing it. You're having fun. You're doing interesting stuff. Obviously, we're in COVID right now. Is this working? Tell me how you feel right now in terms of are you working remotely, working solo, not having obviously not having the interaction with anybody. um what's kind of like, how do you feel? I think it seems
Yes.
like this is going to be there for some time. So what's your kind of like reaction to this?
Yes. So right now, as I can see, the social life a little bit declining because I
When
cannot
you
meet
mean
my
social
friends. I
life, you
cannot
mean
meet
dating life? When you mean social life, you mean dating life, right?
every sort, everything. I cannot meet my colleagues or friends anymore. I have to sit in one room, and I haven't been out maybe for maybe 2 weeks as of now. So it has been around only means I went out for 3 days in the entire COVID situation. And
Yep.
yes, it is a bit stressful, but as a company I can see we are pretty good as of now, because we transisted to remote, and it is working great for us. Means we are connecting every day, and we are doing all of the things which we were doing before. But personally, yes, it's toiling in nature.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough one, and obviously, and especially, I mean, obviously, I'm happy that most of the team members are with family in some way, shape, or form, really, either with their own families or with their folks wherever they are. So,
Yes.
so that's at least slightly good news. And the other obvious kind of try to like look at the bright side in these kind of things, because these are obviously things that are outside our control. We really don't control it, and at least we're blessed to be in a position where we actually can work, right? A lot of people are in today's
Yes.
situation just simply physically, right? I mean, they're in a physical environment, they physically cannot work, and they're like, okay, they're at home and they cannot work. At least we're at home, we can do these kind of Zoom meetings and actually be productive as kind of
Yes.
as a company. We can be productive. Let's quickly change topics. What's kind of like, I mean, I know you worked at, you're doing DevOps, you're doing a bunch of development, you're ridiculously fast in terms of engineering. Um, a lot of people don't know this, but we started this experiment around the holacracy. So just kind of you and Karthik and Samprita, and we kind of like created a little kind of mini kind of holacracy experiment. So far, I mean,
Yes.
it's obviously we've not come out of it yet. It's a random experiment that we're running. So tell me, what is your kind of experience with it? Both the good and the bad, honestly. Like, tell me how you perceive it, how you feel for it, um, and tell us that.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about it.
So till now, me, Karthik, Samprita, and Jer all are working together for this holacracy experiment that is our Van Western top. So currently, what we did at first, we created the entire document. We found out what we can do. We analyzed the problem, and we created some diagrams. And so Jer came up with the diagrams, and he showed it to us. So we decided what to choose and what not to choose, and what are the pros and cons out of it, and we came up with a solution. And after
Okay,
that,
I got a
yesterday,
question. I
yes,
got a quick question. I got a question there. So
yeah,
when you guys met up, when you decided what to do and what not to do, did everybody have an equal say? Did some people have a higher say than other people? How did you kind of solve that problem? There are like
no,
obviously
no,
four people with four different opinions.
yes, there were many opinions, and we differed in the ideas. But yes, after so many meetings, maybe 2 or 3 meetings, we decided, okay, with this approach, we are solving this. With this second approach, we are solving that, but we are losing this. So ultimately, we decided, unanimously decided, that which approach is the best out of so many. For example, where to put the settings, should we put the settings as well? And yesterday, we had a conversation with the client as well, from the Energizer, and
Mhm.
it was a good response, and even they responded with an affirmation that yes, they're facing some problems in this area, and yes, we are pretty good to go. So hence the development is started as of now, and we are
Mhm.
doing it.
Got it. Good. So again, just so that everybody understands, this is kind of like an experiment in like without having any command and control, really, right? Typically, we have like, okay, this is the guy who's in charge of this guy in charge of this, and that's the normal kind of management principle that pretty much we and frankly the whole planet follows. But this is a kind of different kind of an experiment where you put a team of 5 or 6 people together, but there is no command and
Yes.
control. Those 5 and 6 people are, I guess, in theory at least, should be equally responsible for the solution effectively. So that's what we are
Yes.
running as an experiment with um, with with Angad and as you said, Angad, Samprita, and
Karthik and Jer.
Jerry and Karthik, really, right? Um,
Yes.
Let me kind of wrap this up. Do you have, obviously you're pretty interested in things outside of development. You're very inquisitive. I love it about the fact that you're kind of like want to reach out, do other things. And I do have something to show to everybody, which I'll wrap it up in the end. But um, what's one thing that you would say that we could do better as a company? What's in your opinion, and what's one thing that you would say like, all right, if we did this, we would be a better company or a better org, however you want to think about that.
Uh, Actually, the first thing that I would say, obviously, is more sales. But okay, but
Good,
as we
thank you.
discussed,
Thank you. Fucking finally somebody with like, instead of bitching, like, all right, we got to make more money, eh? Just kidding. Funny, funny. All right, all
yes,
right.
but yeah, we had a discussion regarding the transparency project, how to make my company more transparent in nature. So yes, regarding that, how to make more transparent, because we are getting remote. So I want bonds to be more built up among people. So what we can do for the company to get more transparent, that is so that we can increase the bond. We can have one-on-one meetings with their direct superiors. So people are quite honest with people whom they bond with. So that is why that is one thing that we can do.
Right. So I think so I'll summarize this. I think interesting thing that you brought up was like kind of a force feeding of the kind of the one-on-one meetings between your between your manager and yourself, really almost. I mean, my opinion is a weekly
Yes.
basis, and I'm probably guilty of it. I know I don't do very well with one-on-one meetings, partly because we're chasing a bunch of things, but
Yes.
that's no excuse, really. But and especially, as you say, right now,
Mhm.
given the fact that we're reasonably remote, like force feeding the one-on-one organically it doesn't work, but you got to force feed it to some extent, to make sure that the one-on-ones are happening, and it's a pressure valve that can be released effectively. um, that's it. Thank you. We'll keep it short and sweet.
Yes.
I do want to showcase. I'm gonna showcase something. Yeah, I thought I sent long ass emails. Uh, where is
Okay.
Angad's? Angad sent me this. Oh my God! As you can see, he sent me this long ass email. Like he said, like he summarized everything that we talked about and send this to me. All right. I thought the email was fucking amazing. All right. This is perfect. This is the kind of stuff that I want to say that's kind of shows me massive amount of commitment and massive amount of, more importantly, you kind of like absorbed everything that we talked about. And then you kind of said like, hey, here's what I understood. Here's what I didn't. Here's what's good. So I absolutely appreciate that. Personally, actually, that is frankly, that's very heartwarming. It was like, all right, dude, we talked about a lot of things, but you actually did something about it, because most of the times we talk about a lot of shit and
Thank
people just move on with their lives. So thank you so
thank you
much
so
for
much,
that,
Vivek.
Angad.
But actually, most of the people follow this principle.
All right, perfect.
Yes, yes, Vivek. Thank you
All
so
right,
much.
cool. Thanks a lot, man. Cheers. I'll catch up with you. See ya. Bye.